you know, decent season, second season. A lot of people didn't think we were going to do good our sophomore year, so, you know, proud of them. Seeing about next year, and hopefully we can get farther next year.
We put up a good fight. We fought hard. That's all I can ask for.
Golden Knights fans are staying positive tonight after a tough loss to end their run at the Stanley Cup. That's how we're all kind of feeling. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Loftus.
All right, I'm Denise Valdez. Game 7 was intense. The Knights tied it up in the final seconds to send it into overtime, but then the Sharks just came out on top.
Yeah, they did. We do have team coverage tonight. Before we go to San Jose, we do start with Ron Futrell live in studio with how that game unfolded. Ron?
Crazy roller coaster ride is what this was, with plenty of controversy. Knights fall 5-4 in overtime to the Sharks, who move on to the next round of the playoffs now and take on Colorado. The Knights season is over. This was not what was expected for most of this game, because the Knights had a 3-0 lead midway through the third when this happens. About 10 minutes left, and Cody Eakin, an otherwise uneventful face-off with Joe Pavelski. Eakin cross-checks Pavelski, knocks him into Paul Stastny. Pavelski goes down on the ice hard, does not get up for a while. The refs call it a 5-minute major penalty on Eakin. Looks like perhaps a 2-minute minor there, but they go with a 5-minute major. There's another replay. Here's one more shot of it, probably the best shot of it right there. But the Knights, again, leading 3-0 at this point. They give up 4 goals over the next 5 minutes of that penalty. They do tie it up here with 47 seconds left. A gutsy goal there by Jonathan Marchessault to bring the Knights back to tie it at 4. Then we go into the 19th minute of overtime, when after an overtime on Sunday, 2 overtimes on Sunday, the overtime tonight, and the Sharks pull off the win at home. And you look at the situation, the Knights were up 3-1 in this series. The Knights were up 3-0 in this game. That penalty was certainly key. Final score 5-4. Sharks pull off the win over the Knights tonight to move on to the next round. Okay, so we have Chris Matthews standing by live in San Jose. Chris, I got to tell you, it was exhausting here in Vegas watching it in the newsroom. I know for a lot of people watching it, you were there, you saw it live. You saw the emotion of Sharks fans, but it had to be exhausting on both sides.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ron, you know, even though I saw this thing inside the Shark Tank here, I still can't believe what happened. Of course, Vegas just cruising along, as you show, up 3-0. This place was dead quiet. Vegas in complete control of this game, and there were no hiccups, no obstacles, no speed bumps. They were cruising along, leading this thing. But then, as you mentioned, with about 10 minutes to go, comes the penalty. Now, this penalty is going to be talked about all summer long. That 5-minute penalty is going to be talked about all summer long because of how brutal it was for the Vegas Golden Knights. It changed the complexion of the game. You mentioned they scored those goals in just a matter of minutes to get right back into this thing. And, you know, when you think about that, you think of some of the other big brutal calls that have happened. This is even worse than that Rams-Saints football non-call in the NFC Championship game. So that's how tough this thing was. Of course, the fans here are going crazy now because the Sharks move on. They take on, of course, the Avalanche. But for the Vegas Golden Knights, and you're going to hear from Jonathan Marchessault coming up in sports, because he was very honest and disappointed with what happened here on the ice today. This is really the second time in this series that Vegas has gotten the short end, the raw deal of a call. Remember the other night they got the raw, then tonight they got the raw. So that's 2 big major calls that the referees didn't even see it but reacted after the play. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, Coach Gerard Gallant just moments ago wrapped up on the podium. He talked about that brutal call, and everybody is still stunned and disappointed.
We came in the building, played a good game, solid game, did the right things, you know, and this 5-minute cost us the game in the series ultimately, right? But we came back in the game, all tired up. It was you know, good emotion. It was nice to do, but tough to it was just 1-7 in overtime.
Just the composure it took to be able to tie that after that call, after that 5 minutes. Can you talk about what that says about this team and this group?
Yeah, we have a great group. You know, we always believe in each other, and we can do good things. And you know, everybody on the bench was so positive and talking that we could do this. You know, we could make our way back, and we did.
Obviously, you never want to see something bad like that happen, but it's a call 5 minutes for that. That's, why don't you have a hockey replay or something? Change the whole outcome of the game. Like, seriously, what is that? so disappointing, and it's like trying to get involved in the game. The game's not even close. It's 3-0. Call it 2, okay, but a 5, it's something you don't even see. You just call the outcome. It's a f***ing joke. It's embarrassing. That's what it is.
All right, live television, of course. That was moments ago. That was not head coach Gerard Gallant, but Jonathan Marchessault and Marc-Andre Fleury. You can see how visibly upset Marchessault was with that call. Coming up in sports, more from Jonathan Marchessault. You'll also hear from head coach Gerard Gallant on just how brutal that call. I'll tell you what, Brian and Denise, that call is going to be talked about for weeks and weeks. In fact, until they start next season, people are going to be talking about that call, that 5-minute penalty that completely swung this game from the Golden Knights winning to losing, and home for a summer vacation now starting in April. We'll have much more coming up in sports. Reporting live from the Shark Tank, Chris Matthews, 8 Sports Now. Back to you guys.
Chris, we were just talking about that penalty in our Facebook Live, and some of the same comments from viewers is what the players were saying. There a lot of frustration.
All right.